But you know, the reason that's important, it's worth reminding people, is because it was on your front porches, it was in your backyards, where our movement for change began. We spent a lot of time on bus tours like the one I'm taking right now, although the bus wasn't as nice as it is now. And we went to school gyms and family farms and small businesses across the state. And so it was pretty good being back here. Yesterday I went to the state fair and I had a pork chop and a beer. And it was good. Today I just had a beer. I didn't get the pork chop. But the beer was good too. But, say, you'll fry me a pork chop. Somebody just said, it's true, at the state fair, you know, instead of saying 4 more years, they were saying 4 more beers. So I bought them 4 more beers. Told them you had to register to vote, though, to get one of the beers. Now, here's the thing, is the reason I'm back, other than I just love being in Iowa. The reason I'm back is because that journey we started in 2008, we're not finished yet. So, just like we did in 2007, you know, we started over in Council Bluffs, and we are driving all the way to the quads. And we want to make sure that everybody understands the choice that you face in November. And this choice could not be bigger, because it's not just a choice between 2 candidates, it's not just a choice between 2 parties. More than any recent election, more than 2008, this is a choice between 2 fundamentally different visions of where we need to go as a country. And the direction that you choose when you walk into that voting booth in November, that's going to have an impact not just on your lives, it'll have an impact on your children and your grandchildren for decades to come. Now, remember why we came together in 2008. And it was Democrats and independents, but it was also some Republicans. It was because we saw that the basic bargain that built this country, that created the most prosperous economy the world has ever known, that basic bargain wasn't being met. And let me tell you what that bargain is. It says that if you work hard, your work should be rewarded. It says that if you act responsibly and you put in enough effort, you can find a job that pays the bills. You can have a home that you call your own. You won't go broke just because somebody in your family gets sick. You can retire with dignity and respect. And most importantly, you can give your kids a great education so they can dream even bigger and do even better than you. That is the American promise. That is what made this country great. But the problem was, for a decade, we had seen that bargain wasn't being met. The promise wasn't being kept. So we had seen a decade in which jobs were being shipped overseas. And wages and incomes for working people were going down, even though folks at the very top were doing very well. And the costs of everything from healthcare to college were going up. We ran 2 wars on a credit card. We went from surplus to deficit. So when I walked into office, we already had a $1 trillion deficit. And it all culminated in the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. That's the track record of the other party the last time they were in charge. And we knew that restoring the bargain that made this country great would not be easy. It was going to take more than 1 year or 1 term or even more than 1 president, but we knew we had to get started. And obviously it became that much harder when the middle class was hammered by this crisis. Because a lot of folks lost jobs, lost homes, lost savings, and that American dream seemed even further out of reach. But I told you there wouldn't be any quick fixes, there wouldn't be any easy solutions, but what I also promised you, and I absolutely believe this is, we've got everything we need to meet our challenges. Waterloo, we've still got the best workers in the world. And the best entrepreneurs in the world. We've got the best scientists and the best researchers in the world. We got the best farmers in the world. We got the best colleges and universities in the world. We are still a young nation, full of promise, and we've got the greatest diversity of talent and ingenuity from every corner of the globe. So, no matter what the naysayers say, no matter how dark they try to paint things when they're running against me in an election, there is not another country on earth that wouldn't trade places with the United States of America. Because people around the world still believe that America's the place where if you work hard, no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter where you come from, you can still make it. That's the idea that we are running to rebuild. That is the campaign. That is what my presidency is about. That's why I'm running for a second term as President of the United States.